Did I actually read that many studies on how to look better? Honestly, yeah. And I did it for you to glow up this summer. You can't argue with science. In fact, my theory is some of the things I'm mentioning is the reason why everyone looks way better these days compared to 30, 40 years ago. If you're wondering, how are you doing your research? I locked in. You guys already know I store all my to-dos and projects on my Excel's daily planner, and I needed a second brain for this one because I spent so much time going through scientific journals, research sites, Google Scholar, and once I get my info, I quickly dump it into my research project space so that I can bring to you Glow Up Gate with APA citation. When I first started researching, I was only aiming for about 50 or 100 studies max. I ended up reading over 400 total, but I had to edit this down into around 70 that actually made it into the video. And because I kept adding new things as I worked, I had to make my Excel's project look cute and aesthetic. If you like how my planner looks, you can get Excel's at the link in my video description for free. But you see how beauty is earned. It's not given. I'm a beautiful nerd. I almost lost my mind for you so that you can glow up. And because of that, there's so much science and proven research behind what people find beautiful. And in case you're wondering, well, I'm so ugly, I'm doomed. Well, that's not true because I learned that beauty is a lot more objective than it seems. And because of that, it's actually very attainable. So even if you don't believe in yourself, I believe in you. I also read so many studies on why attractive people have an easier life. I mean, we already know. And so every single beauty tip that I give to you today is scientifically proven to give you more pretty privilege. Beauty is an easy way for you to gain power, and there is no excuse because I did not excuse myself. The old me gave me everything that I have now. My channel is all about evolving physically, mentally, spiritually. And in fact, I'm focusing on glow up videos for the rest of the month, so like and subscribe, and I promise you, you will glow up. Number 1, start building a physical grooming routine. Before I get into it, obviously none of this is professional advice. I am not a doctor, but I am referencing all of the same studies and scientific research that your professionals also reference. But here's the first tip. Here's why physical grooming is absolutely non-negotiable. Having habits that take care of your appearance gives you more social leverage, and it's a very easy way to gain power. I promise you, nobody would take my advice seriously if I looked the way that I used to back when I clearly didn't take care of myself. Consequentially, this is also where a self-fulfilling prophecy happens. Just by putting in effort and looking put together makes people believe that you are more attractive. And the way that people treat you because of the way you look makes you believe that you're more attractive because that's confirmation. When you look presentable to the world, you also look smarter, more trustworthy, more respectable. You have a higher chance of getting jobs, promotions, a second date, a lighter prison sentence. This is why serial deleters have fan clubs. In life, attractive people get more and also get away with more. You can demonstrate to people that you are disciplined, capable, sociable, intelligent just by the way you look alone. If you can at least don't smell bad, have clean nails, clear skin, neatly styled hair that suits you, a polished outfit, don't have anything stuck in your teeth, and know how to camouflage your flaws, that alone will earn you the halo effect, even if nothing else changes. Number 2, enhancing facial symmetry. Facial symmetry is considered a universal marker of beauty because it shows that you're healthy and physically developed. Supermodel Adriana Lima's face is considered one of the most symmetrical model faces known to mankind. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into specific details like golden ratios or measurements, but this study is super eye-opening, literally. It says that men and women prefer symmetrical faces that combine an innocent but sexy look. Some things that come up include Cupid doll faces, meaning large eyes, small nose, and small mouths, but full lips, combined with lush maturity like thick hair, dewy skin, high cheekbones, a firm jaw and chin. While you can't naturally change your bone structure, you can create the illusion of facial symmetry with grooming choices like eye makeup, brow shaping with brow mapping techniques, evening out your skin tone with skincare or makeup, facial contouring, filler, teeth whitening, and facial exercises to create a more symmetrical face. There are so many types of facial exercises out there, but the easiest one you can do today is a gua sha. If you don't have a tool, make sure to use clean hands and some moisturizer and just do upward motions, soft pressure, not too hard. Don't pull your skin. And don't worry, I'm gonna get into other things like skin, hair, makeup in detail very soon. Number 3, facial contrast enhancement. So what does that even mean? Technically, it means the difference in glow and color between the eyes, mouth, and eyebrows and the skin around these features. Here's a photo of the difference between high and low contrast. Specifically with women, this makes them look younger and more feminine. There are 2 studies led by this researcher named Pore on facial contrast and aging, and they found that facial contrast significantly around the eyes and the mouth declines as you age, no matter what ethnicity you are. And faces with artificially increased contrast, like with makeup for example, they're judged to look younger. Studies have also proven that aging and constant exposure to the sun affects our skin, and it seems that women generally lose facial contrast as they get older, particularly in the eyes and mouth areas. Women look younger when their eyebrows, their eyes, and their lips stand out more. There are also other studies within that paper that showed a higher contrast also increases attractiveness regardless of your age. This is true no matter what culture you're from. So when you do makeup, focus on your eyebrows, your eyes, and your lips, and use opposing colors to the color wheel relatively to your eye color to make your eyes pop more, or just add a bit more strategic highlights and shadows. I personally have small eyes, but I like to make my eyes bigger because that's another indicator of beauty. Stronger eyebrows also help, but personally I have bangs instead of eyebrows. And of course, fuller lips with a natural rosy color instead of going too harsh. Number 4, body proportions. And this one is specifically for women. There was a study that found that a waist to hip ratio of around 0.7 is a consistent predictor of perceived female attractiveness across pretty much all cultures. Even more so than facial features, body shape played a huge role in how attractive someone was rated. So how can you achieve more of that ratio? Glow up efforts like working out, for example, training your core, and lucky you, because I found 3 very recent studies that prove you can actually spot reduce stomach fat, specifically through core balancing workouts, high rep aerobic cardio, like for example ab circuits paired with endurance cardio, and you repeat these in sets. I know some of you like to fight me and be like, oh well, that's not true, you can't spot reduce fat. Well, can you argue with science? Because I found studies that you can. You can also build your glutes by doing step-ups, deadlifts, hip thrusts, and squats. And just as much as you can spot reduce your abdominal fat, you can also increase the muscles on your butt. Correcting your posture helps too, which is very easy. Just sit and stand up straight at a 90-degree angle and try not to hunch your back. And even with waist sculpting or waist training, that can also visually enhance your waist to hip ratio. Number 5, skin tone and color. There are a few studies that I found where people with more oxygenated, carotenoid-rich skin tones, meaning rosy cheeks and golden undertones, were consistently rated as healthier and more attractive, even when their facial structure remained the same. And this is true across all shades of skin tones. Obviously, you can use makeup like foundations, bronzers, and blush to get a rosier complexion, but you can also enhance these signals naturally through exercise to improve your circulation, or eat a diet that's rich in fruits and vegetables that contain carotenoids, meaning specifically these vegetables that I'm listing here. But also another shortcut can basically be to look out for vegetables that are red, orange, and green, and eat a lot of it. You can also try treatments like red light therapy or exfoliation. All of these things can improve the glow of your skin, or self-tanner, but don't go too orange. I'm really excited about this one because I have so many studies. But another way to glow up fast is to focus on skin barrier repair. That's how you get your glass skin. This is the point where I read the most studies. So if you ask me the most effective way to get clear, glowy, youthful skin, I would say focus on cellular turnover and barrier repair. Cellular turnover is how quickly old dead skin cells are replaced with new ones, especially if you have acne scars, pigmentation issues, or if you're worried about wrinkles or dull skin. This process of cellular turnover naturally slows down as you age, and it also slows with sun damage, pollution, and dehydration. While actives like using retinol or vitamin C or AHA, BHA are good for encouraging cellular turnover, too much and too harsh of a good thing can also be a bad thing. That can weaken your skin barrier, and that will cause your skin to thin out, which will make you age faster. That creates a more dull complexion and erythema, meaning redness on your face. But speaking from experience, and I'm going to show you, once you start treating the redness correctly, it eventually goes away, I promise. I recommend picking one active, maybe 2 max, to add to your skincare routine, and don't use both on the same routine. Obviously, you also need a good diet as well as healthy lifestyle habits to support the cellular repair and give your body more nutrients. Another way to boost cellular turnover is to repair the skin barrier as your skin rebuilds itself. So there are 5 main ingredients that does exactly this. I'm gonna go over each of them with you. I just like to get Korean beauty products because Korean skincare is all about barrier repair, and most products have these ingredients. 80% of my skincare is from Korean brands, and I buy them from YesStyle, which is also the biggest online platform for Asian skincare, makeup, and they also sell a ton of other lifestyle things. But basically, I stopped buying all skincare from Amazon because there's a lot of reports lately about counterfeit beauty products floating around Amazon, and you definitely don't want fake stuff on your face. By the way, YesStyle is sponsoring this video, but I've been buying products from there for a while, so it wouldn't have mattered. I would have told you this anyway. It was life-changing for me. Especially because, for example, with Korean sunscreen, which is known to be more advanced, you cannot buy some of these products in stores in the US because of super outdated regulation. YesStyle products are sourced from reputable suppliers. Their Korean products are imported directly from Korea. My skin was actually kind of bad last month, so I think that's my mistake. I need to work on rehealing my skin barrier. And so I actually worked on a new skincare routine focusing on only cellular turnover and barrier repair with the Korean skincare products that I bought from YesStyle. And you can see after a month, this is how my skin looks now. It's more even, less red, the bumps are gone, and my pores shrank. Anyway, so the first ingredient is called Cica, also known as Centella Asiatica extract. I've actually used this for surgical wound healing. It's scientifically proven to improve hydration, stop moisture from leaving your skin. It's anti-inflammatory, and it also helps with re-epithelialization, which means your body creates new skin cells. By far, this is my favorite ingredient. It's super soothing for sensitive skin, and I have multiple moisturizers and sunscreens that have this ingredient. I use this every day. The second ingredient is panthenol, also known as vitamin B5. I have a cream that has both Centella Asiatica and panthenol, and it's a very healing moisturizer. This is also one of the main ingredients in Aquaphor, but technically panthenol cream is better. Clinical studies are showing that topical panthenol is used to reduce inflammation, increase fibroblast growth, meaning your skin builds connective tissues as it heals and speeds up skin barrier recovery. Creams that have panthenol also lead to faster healing of wounds and complete barrier restoration about 1 week earlier than untreated skin. The third ingredient is ceramides. Ceramides are a key lipid in the stratocornea, meaning it's a type of fat tissue on your skin surface. In fact, ceramides make up 50% of your skin barrier, and creams with ceramides in it replenishes that fat tissue on your skin barrier that might get stripped off your face with age, with harsh skincare routine. It also reduces inflammation and helps your skin become less sensitive. The fourth ingredient is Snail Mucin Filtrate. I know how that sounds, but I love snails, and their mucin helps regenerate your skin. And I promise you, they're not squeezing the snails to get the mucin out. I came across about 10 studies about skill mucin where it was found to significantly boost hydration, skin elasticity, wound healing, and also reduce the signs of aging. By reducing fine lines, wrinkles, and texture on your face, it helps your body increase re-epithelialization and boost growth factor, which is the stem cell stuff. You need this to boost new skin cell growth. The fifth ingredient, which you might see a lot in Korean beauty products, is niacinamide. It's also known as vitamin B3. Topical nicotinamide increases ceramides in the stratum cornea and improves skin barrier function. There's actually a 12-week controlled trial on women that I read about where daily use of only 5% niacinamide significantly reduced signs of aging, including sagginess, including fine wrinkles, compared to placebo. Placebo means everyone thought they were getting this, but only half of them did. It was also proven to improve elasticity, less yellowing and dullness, and produces a smoother, more radiant, and even complexion in only 12 weeks. I own quite a few products that have niacinamide in it, and it's a very common skincare ingredient these days. I use a mix of all of these 5 ingredients that I mentioned every single day, and I'm super confident in recommending all of this to you. And of course, I also recommend buying from YesStyle because it's legit. They have sales going on all the time for their skincare brand. I'm always getting a good deal from it, and they ship pretty quickly worldwide. So check out YesStyle for your Korean skincare needs, and you can use my code MAY12 for extra 12% off on orders over $39. And thank you to YesStyle for sponsoring this video. Number 7, SPF. I know you hear a lot about SPF, but it is so important. Use broad spectrum sunscreen, or even better, sunblock all day, every day, SPF 30 or higher, and reapply if you're outside in the sun. If you don't know what broad spectrum means, that means it covers both UVA and UVB rays. UVA is the one that can cause a tan and break down collagen on your face. UVA ray causes wrinkles, hyperpigmentation, meaning your scars get dark and it penetrates deep into your skin. UVA is a very sneaky. It can come through even on gray and cloudy days. So if you sit by the window during the daytime, it travels through glass. So if you live in an apartment like mine, especially, I basically live in a glass box. So I'm definitely being hit by UVA rays all day long. And so you bet I wear sunblock the first thing I wake up. So UVB is the one that causes sunburn if you are out in the sun for too long. It doesn't really come through the glass, but both UVA and UVB can contribute to skin cancer and melasma. Now, I know there's a lot of talk these days about visible light indoors or blue light also contributing to melasma, which is why I never not wear my SPF, especially when I'm working at my desk in front of screen. But I also read a recent study that's testing out a UVA UVB plus new blue light filter, so hopefully we'll see blue light sunscreens in the next few years. And there is also a difference between sunscreen and sunblock. The difference is sunscreen is made of chemicals that absorb UV radiation before it damages your skin. So it's made of ingredients like avobenzone, oxybenzone, octinoxate. It sounds chemical-ish because it is. This is usually easier to apply and blend into your skin because it's lightweight and sometimes it's invisible, so it doesn't leave a white cast. Chemical sunscreen also doesn't work immediately. You need to wait about 10 to 15 minutes before it starts to work. Whereas sunblock, also known as a physical sunscreen, that sits on top of your skin and it reflects UV rays away from your skin. It does not absorb into your skin. So this is made of ingredients like zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. That's the stuff that does leave a white cast on your skin, by the way, and it's harder to blend. Zinc oxide is the better ingredient because it offers real full spectrum sun protection and it's safe for the environment. Because of this, there are some concerns of chemical sunscreens because studies have shown that it actually enters your bloodstream and that can be a hormone and endocrine disruptor. It also destroys coral reefs, so it's bad for the environment. And imagine what that could do to your skin, right? I don't love chemical sunscreens unless it's Korean sunscreen, which has way better ingredients. I use Korean sunscreen on my face and only use zinc oxide mineral sunblock on the rest of my body. So if you want to avoid any kind of sunscreens at all because you don't trust it, just use zinc oxide cream. You can literally buy it as a giant tub in the form of a diaper rash cream. That's another ingredient that's medically used to enhance and protect your skin barrier. I actually use that as a facial mask sometimes overnight after using my tretinoin, and that really locks everything in. And the reason why I talk about Korean sunscreens is that commercial sunscreens in the West block mostly UVB rays, which is the one that causes sunburns and also produce vitamin D, but they don't block UVA rays unless it says broad spectrum sunscreen. But even then, regulations in the US have not been updated for almost 3 decades, which is a third of a century, by the way. Whereas the regulations in Europe and Asia have evolved, which makes European and Asian chemical sunscreens actually much safer to use. Korean sunscreens are also literally superior because it's cosmetically elegant, meaning it's very lightweight, absorbs easily, it leaves a nice dewy finish, no white cast, and many of them have ingredients for anti-aging, healing skin barrier like Centella Asiatica and ginseng extract, which is very nice if you don't want to pile on a 10-step skincare routine, which is also bad for your skin anyway. But if you don't want to deal with any sunscreens at all, the best sunscreen is still wearing clothing with SPF protection. I always wear this giant brim sun hat when I go outside, and if I'm sitting by the pool, I wear SPF mask over my face and my chest. And then if I'm in the car, I wear SPF gloves. Number 8 is red light therapy, and red light therapy is one of the most studied glow up techniques ever. I have read thousands of studies since I started using it, and I use red light and infrared therapy with a full body light panel, and it needs to be in the 633 to 850 nm frequency range, so a regular red light bulb or some cheap model from Amazon will not work. A good, decent one will cost at least $1,000, but this is actually the best return on investment I have ever made for my skin and my body. I bought mine 6 or 7 years ago and I still use it every day. I do red light for 10 minutes on my back and then 10 minutes on my face, chest, and arms while I'm blow drying my hair or while I'm meditating, just making sure that it's at least 3 to 6 inches away from my body and face, or even like 3, 6, or 12 inches. And the distance is super important. It doesn't work if it's too close, meaning those red light facial robot masks are maybe like 10% the effectiveness of my light panel. It gives me instant energy in the morning. It helps me sleep better at night. It's amazing for skin and wound healing. It helps with seasonal depression as well. And I treat this like a plant light, but for my body. If you don't know already, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, and red light therapy is proven to boost mitochondria, specifically activating the cytochrome C oxidase, which charges up cellular energy and boosts and snatches up your entire self. This cascade triggers an entire range of body repairing and anti-aging responses, especially when you keep using it consistently over time. But I have to warn you though, because the results are very gradual. This is a long-term investment. I also think red light is part of why I look so young despite my wise years, and my skin and body also heals very fast because of it. Red light therapy is basically like a gym for your skin cells. It helps them function better, it repairs faster. Red light therapy supports all of that with no trauma and no downtime. In fact, it's a very, very good complement to any kind of procedures or facial that do have downtime, like microneedling or lasers or surgery, for example. I'm not going to bore you with all of the details because there's so many, but here's a list of the benefits specifically for the skin. Number 9 is a beauty sleep routine, and there are a few things that you can do to glow up while you sleep. Number 1 is work on your nasal breathing and mouth taping. I know some of you guys probably see this all over TikTok, but it's true, especially if you snore at night and you have sleep apnea. This is affecting your glow up a lot. Proper nasal breathing is very important for optimal maxillofacial development because there are studies done on chronic mouth breathing, especially when you're younger, that correlates with altered facial growth and adenoid faces, which looks like a longer, narrower face and malocclusion compared to nasal breathers. Basically, it makes you look like Napoleon Dynamite. So having braces and also maxillofacial surgery can fix adenoid faces, but the easiest option is to just prevent it. So number 1, tape your mouth while you sleep, and number 2, make sure that you can breathe out of your nose because that's the reason why you're a mouth breather, because you can't breathe through your nose. So I eventually had to get nose surgery to fix my mouth breathing for good, but that's a last resort when nothing else works. You can also get nasal strips to open up your passageways and help you breathe better. Doing these 2 things will help you not snore so much at night and also help with sleep apnea. Another thing that can help with wrinkles and hair breakage and split ends, frizzy hair is to use pillowcase fabrics of less friction and wear a silk bonnet. Your sleeping position can absolutely cause wrinkles and skin texture problems, especially acne. The worst offending sleep positions are the sleeping on your stomach, on your face, and a side sleeper. I used to be a side sleeper with terrible acne on my jaw because I will drool out of my mouth and the bacteria from the saliva causes acne. So now I sleep raised up on my back, squarely on my back with 2 to 3 pillows. I also have a study linked where over 8 weeks, pillowcases with microscopic copper oxide, which has a smoother, low friction surface, that actually produce a significant reduction in crow's feet wrinkles depth compared to the control, which means that using a smooth pillow fabric like silk or satin or some kind of copper oxide material that can lessen sleep-induced facial wrinkles. Friction and abrasion also causes hair cuticle damage and breakage. So smooth pillowcases also reduces hair fiber friction, and that protects your hair from tangling up and freezing up and breaking. I also use a silk bonnet to protect my hair and prevent split ends while I sleep, especially because my hair is so long. My hair gets tangled up at night easily, and this is a non-negotiable for me because I don't want to wake up with a bird's nest behind my neck and then have to spend 10 minutes in the morning detangling it. Okay, and then some of you are not gonna like this one. Yes, you need to have a full night of sleep, at least 7 to 9 hours every night. The earlier the better. And you have to do this in order to look more attractive. There are studies that show that the before and after photos of people who get a lot of sleep versus they're sleep deprived, and the photos of them when they're getting a lot of sleep are consistently rated healthier and more attractive. Yeah, I know there are attractive people who don't sleep very much, but I promise you this will catch up to them very quickly and they are going to look even better if they sleep. There's another clinical study that I found that linked chronic poor sleep quality with increased signs of skin aging like fine lines, uneven pigmentation, and worsened skin barrier function. So now you're starting to see all of the connections of how beauty is so closely tied to your health, your lifestyle habits, and the ability of your body to rejuvenate itself and to heal. And sleep is huge. Your body repairs itself at night while you sleep. So no amount of skincare or treatments are going to hide the fact that you have poor chronic sleep issues. When I used to work in a nightlife where I worked till 5 a.m. and went to bed at 10 a.m., I looked really awful and bloated. And I'm also actually just recovering from fighting an infection, and because I couldn't sleep very well for 2 weeks, not only did I glow down a bit recently and put on more weight, I also became angrier and more irritated at the smallest things, when usually I'm very detached and I don't care a lot about anything. So yeah, get a lot of sleep for the sake of your well-being and also for the sake of people around you. Number 10, foods to avoid. Obviously, diet is very important, right? But what about it should you do to glow up? And of course, I want you to eat a lot of vegetables. I covered that already with the vegetable list that helps improve your skin. But aside from vegetables, I have one more specific thing for you to add and then 2 more things to minimize or to avoid completely. The first thing to add to your diet is omega-3 fatty acids. So in studies, increased omega-3 significantly reduces inflammation inflammation, acne, and gives you clear skin. The best source of omega-3 is usually fish or wild-caught salmon, mackerel, sardine, anchovies, cod liver oil, eggs. But if you are a vegetarian, you can also get this from flax seeds, chia seeds, and walnuts, but that has to be taken with DHA algae oil so that it can convert ALA to EPA and DHA. I don't know what any of that means, but just do that. Now, as for what to avoid, if you want to look absolutely gorgeous with clear skin and no bloating, avoid added sugar entirely. I always have known that it was bad, but now that I read studies on it, it's worse than I thought. Some of these studies showed that higher carbohydrate intake, including added sugars, was directly associated with more wrinkling and skin atrophy. Skin atrophy means your skin collapses and looks saggy. Another skin glycation research study shows that high sugar diets promote skin aging via glycation. So what this means is that it's basically a biochemical process that ages your skin from the inside out. It creates chronic inflammation from the inside, which leads to all kinds of diseases. And this is mostly triggered by sugar. It is so bad. It creates wrinkles, it drains your skin collagen, and the skin glycation effect accumulates over time as you age. Meaning, someone who's been eating sugar consistently for 30 years is going to look so much older at 50 compared to someone who only ate sugar for 5 years. And let's say they're both the same age. Another thing to avoid is alcohol. A survey of over 3,000 women showed that heavy alcohol intake was significantly associated with more loss of volume in the mid-face, which is exactly the area where everyone's getting a facelift these days, and also deeper nasolabial folds and more under-eye puffiness compared to non-drinkers. Your body is more depleted of nutrients and also more dehydrated, and this speeds up facial aging markers, making you look way older than you are. Another study involving 83,000 women showed that consistent alcohol use leads to higher risk of rosacea, and it triggers chronic skin redness and a worsened ability for your skin to heal the barrier. Guys, I have done my part in bringing you scientific facts, so the rest is on you if you want to believe it or not, and if you want to listen to it or not. I promise you, a glow down is not the end of the world. You just have to snatch yourself back up. Your body is so amazing. It can heal itself. If you're still resisting and making excuses like, oh, I can't change who I am, well, that sucks, but you can do better than that. In fact, affirm with me in the comments, I take care of myself because I love myself. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know you're going to get your glow up, and I will see you in the next video.